So for today's job, I'm going to do some maintenance on our classroom ceiling. As you can see, we've got a leak that's occurred here. It's just a small but consistent leak. And if you look at this area, we got a considerably bigger leak. But if we look in our office, we did have a substantial leak where rain literally just poured in with heavy downpours. I found out that they drilled a hole exactly where the water runs along the roof line. And so I'm going to find out what is causing these other two leaks today. So for this leak, let's go outside. So exactly where that patch is where these two screws are. So if we look at this one more closely, this one doesn't look too bad, maybe slightly over tightened, but it's this one I think what's probably causing the problem, because it has not been fitted correctly. So I will take out these two screws, I will put in some silicone and then fit two new screws with new rubbers. So my job now is to get some boards onto the roof and get my drill. Okay, got two new screws. You can see got nice thick rubber on them. So I put these two in, different colour, but I don't mind about that. Okay, let's go and put them. Got some silicone here. Fill the holes with some silicone, and then put the screws in. Hopefully that will stop the leak. Okay. Two new screws in, surrounded by silicone. So hopefully that will stop the leak. So to repair this, I'm just going to give it a quick sanding down with my sanding block, just to see if there are any holes that need filling and repairing. If not, I will just give it a coat of paint. So after sanding it down, I just found this one little hole that needs filling. Otherwise it's quite sound. It just needs a coat of primer and a coat of paint. If we look at this area, the damage is more substantial, so water is getting in here somehow. Let's find out what's going on. Looking inside the roof space, we can see daylight. So obviously, if you can see daylight, that's a place where water can come in, especially when we get heavy rain. So it's all along this ridge, so let's take a look outside. So it's occurring somewhere where the end of my board is, in that region on the ridge. So I'm going to take that off, see if I can seal it underneath before putting it back on. Okay, I've taken off this ridge cap, so you can see how easy it would be to get water in there. So I'm going to go to the builder's merchants, get some flashing, 300mm flashing, and cover over this lip here, so that will prevent water going in there. And then I can put this on top, so the flashing is going to do the sealing. Right, let's go to the builder's shop. So I've just been to the builder's shop. I spent 676 baht, which is about £15 or 21 US dollars. I've got a tub of paint, 1 gallon. I've got a 12-inch roll of this bitumen flashing and 20 roofing screws. So I'm going to make myself a cup of coffee and then I'll crack on. Up on the roof now. I'm going to lay this roll of bitumen along this edge. So I want to make sure it sticks, so I'm going to wipe it clean before I stick it down. It's difficult to film it as I'm doing it, so I think I'll just fix it and then show you the finished result. Right, so I've cleaned the roof. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to fix the screws into that roofing first, and then the flashing, the tin flashing that goes on top, just can be short screws just to hold it onto the top of the roof. But I need to secure this roof down so it won't move first, so I can put these screws back in, and then I'll put the bitumen flashing over the top. So in case you don't know, this flashing is very sticky on one side and it's smooth on the opposite side, so it should stick to this roofing well. So I can't film it and stick it down at the same time, so I'll just show you the finished job. It's quite flexible, so you can mould it into the grooves, and then I use my cloth just to help it to stick. Okay, so I'll just carry on in that way. That's all stuck down as best as I can, but that should give it a better chance of staying watertight. So I'll just put the cover on, which will just help protect the bitumen, make it last longer, although bitumen should last a long while. So last step, put this cover back on. That's it, capping back on. Hopefully that will stop the leaks. I'm just gonna put some silicone in these holes that are remaining. I'm sure it won't make much difference because it's already sealed underneath, but for my own peace of mind I'll just fill those holes, and then job's a good one. Okay, I've rubbed it all down, filled the holes. When that filler's dried off, I'll sand it down, put some of this primer on, and then I will put the paint on. This should be sealing paint, just as emulsion paint for interior. So, nearly done. Okay, so that's the repair done, all sealed and painted. You'll never know it leaked. And there's the other one, as good as new. So we'll just have to wait till the next rain to see if I've cured the problem. Okay, that's all for now. I'll see you on the next video.